Imagine a world where morality is not dictated by religion or tradition, but by reason and logic. Could we ever reach such a state? This is not just a hypothetical, it's a philosophical exploration that has been pondered over centuries, and one man, in particular, dared to dive deep into these murky waters. His name? Immanuel Kant, a philosopher who believed in questioning established norms and beliefs, boldly challenging the status quo. Enter Immanuel Kant, a man who dared to challenge the status quo and revolutionize our understanding of morality. In the heart of the Enlightenment era, a German philosopher named Immanuel Kant was born. This was a time of radical shifts in thought, where the dusty cobwebs of the Middle Ages were swept away, and a new age of reason and empirical evidence was ushered in. Young Kant was born in Königsberg, Prussia, in the year 1724, to a family of modest means. His parents were deeply religious, and their pietist beliefs instilled in Kant a strong moral compass and an appreciation for strict discipline and hard work. Growing up in the bustling atmosphere of the Enlightenment, Kant was surrounded by a world that was questioning everything. The intellectual environment was fertile ground for a curious mind like Kant's, and it played a pivotal role in shaping his philosophy. He was deeply influenced by the works of great thinkers like Isaac Newton and David Hume, who challenged the traditional notions of knowledge and understanding. In this time of great change and upheaval, Kant began to formulate his revolutionary ideas. Kant's philosophy is a complex web of ideas, but at its core, it's about one thing: reason. In the grand tapestry of philosophical thought, Immanuel Kant wove a thread of pure brilliance, placing reason as the central pillar of his philosophy. Kant emphasized that reason is not just a tool for understanding the world around us, but it is the very bedrock of morality. According to him, moral laws are absolute, universal, and dictated by reason. They are not contingent on our desires, emotions, or the outcomes they produce. This is a stark departure from many moral theories that came before him, which often placed a heavy emphasis on the results of an action. This brings us to a cornerstone of Kant's ethical philosophy, the categorical imperative. This is a principle that Kant believed should guide our moral decisions. In simple terms, it asks us to act in such a way that we would want our actions to become a universal law. It is categorical because it applies unconditionally, without exception. Imagine a world where everyone lied whenever it was convenient. Trust would crumble, communication would break down, and society as we know it would fall apart. Kant argued that lying, therefore, is always wrong, not because of the chaos it would cause, but because it's a violation of the categorical imperative. But there's more to it. Kant also believed that we should always treat people as ends in themselves, and never merely as means to our ends. This is because human beings, as rational creatures, are capable of setting their own goals and making their own decisions. To use someone simply as a tool for our own purposes is to deny their inherent dignity and autonomy. That's why for Kant, morality wasn't just about what actions we take. It's about the reasons behind those actions. It's about acting out of respect for the moral law, rather than out of fear of punishment or hope for reward. For Kant, morality wasn't about what we do, but why we do it. Kant's philosophy didn't just change how we think about morality, it changed how we understand the world. Immanuel Kant's ideas have had profound influence far beyond the realm of philosophy, making significant impacts on science, politics, and art. In the field of science, Kant's philosophy introduced a revolutionary way of understanding the universe. His concept of space and time as forms of human intuition profoundly influenced Einstein's theory of relativity. He proposed that our perception of the world is not a direct reflection of reality, but rather a construct of human cognition. This concept is still a cornerstone in the field of cognitive science, shaping our understanding of how our minds interpret the world around us. In politics, Kant's philosophy of universal moral law laid the groundwork for human rights and international law. His ideas of autonomy, dignity, and respect for persons have become fundamental principles in democratic societies. His vision of a perpetual peace based on mutual respect and cooperation among nations is a concept still pursued by international organizations today. In the realm of art, Kant's philosophy brought a fresh perspective on aesthetics. He argued that beauty is not inherent in objects, but rather in the eye of the beholder, challenging us to question our own subjective experiences of beauty. This concept has deeply influenced the way we approach and interpret art, encouraging us to value individual perspectives and interpretations. But Kant's influence doesn't stop there. His philosophy continues to shape modern thought, from ethics to metaphysics, from epistemology to aesthetics. His ideas are woven into the fabric of our understanding of the world, challenging us to question our assumptions, to think critically and autonomously. Kant's philosophy is more than a historical artifact. It's a living, breathing part of our intellectual heritage, a set of ideas that continues to inspire, provoke, and challenge us. It is a testament to Kant's genius that, centuries after his death, we are still grappling with his ideas, still finding new ways to apply his insights to our own lives and our own world. Kant's philosophy continues to shape our world, challenging us to think critically about our actions and beliefs. So, why does Kant's philosophy matter today? As we've journeyed through this exploration, we've uncovered the profound impact of Immanuel Kant's ideas on our world. Let's take a step back and look at the essence of Kant's philosophy. His groundbreaking thoughts on the nature of knowledge, morality, and reality have shaped our understanding of these concepts. He proposed that our knowledge is not simply a reflection of the world around us, but a product of our own minds. This notion, while revolutionary at the time, is now a cornerstone of modern philosophy and psychology. Kant's moral philosophy, too, has left an indelible mark on our society. His concept of the moral law, a universal standard of behavior that transcends cultural and personal differences, has influenced our ethical and legal systems. It empowers us to critically examine our actions and their implications, fostering a more thoughtful and just society. Furthermore, Kant's philosophy is not merely a relic of the past, but a guiding light for the present. In an era where misinformation and quick judgments are rampant, his emphasis on reason and critical thinking is more relevant than ever. His philosophy urges us to question, to analyze, and to seek truth, providing a much-needed antidote to the superficiality and impulsiveness of our times. In a world where reason often takes a back seat to emotion, Kant's philosophy reminds us of the power and importance of rational thought. It challenges us to be better, to think deeper, and to act with purpose.